Okay, so there's the old back to the classic, Back to the Future, and then what the heck is a gigawatt? The DeLorean needs 1.21 gigawatts. A small power plant is about 1,000 gigawatts or gig of watts. So rock climbing power conversion. So 328 watts. Now watch this. Convert to horsepower. 1 watt is equal to 0.00134 horsepower. So if I take his horsepower and multiply that by 0.00134 horsepower per watt, then you can see that the watts cancel. And we're left with horsepower. It's about 0.4 horsepower. Okay? Whereas the ultimate, compare that with the world's fastest. Now, there's a new one. This is the ultimate arrow. That there's arguments. I use the Bugatti because I found a cool Top Gear video that went with the Bugatti. Notice this: 1,183 horsepower, and we're going to calculate that for the Bugatti based on its acceleration, its mass, and the speed that it's going. And we're going to calculate its power. We're going to calculate its kinetic energy, and we're going to compare that to Usain Bolt, which would be it's a lot of. I kind of went off a little bit on it, but anyway. So energy comes in two forms: there's kinetic energy, energy of motion, potential energy. I think this will be at least track 9 or 10. All right. Anyway, potential energy, and that is energy stored up, for example, ready to do work, or a spring. When I stretch out a spring and then let it go, boing, 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 comes back together. Or I bend something and then let it go and it snaps back. That's potential energy. Now the equation for kinetic energy is 1/2 mv squared. All right. So you might be wondering, well, how the heck? All right, Doc, explain to me then. Explain to me, because we only got one more slide to go, so I want to show you. You might be curious as to how the heck do we do that on a calculator. So let's just say something, let's just take the kinetic energy. All right, we're going to find the kinetic energy of something here, and I think we're sticking strictly with kinetic energy this time. We're not going to do potential energy just yet. We'll look at the base jumping. That'll be in next week's lesson where we look at potential. But kinetic energy is 1/2 the mass times the speed that it's going squared. All right. So how do you, let's say something has a mass of 10 kilograms, just some object, and it's going, the velocity is going 20 meters per second, which is pretty fast. It's almost 60 miles an hour, actually. What's its kinetic energy? Well, its kinetic energy would be 0.5. That's how you get the 1/2. This is how you do the 1/2 right there. Times on your calculator, and I do everything in parentheses, so 10 kilograms times 20 times 20. Now that's the old school way of doing it. If some of you have calculators, you can just go 0.5 times 10 times 20 squared. Or some of you might even want to go, or 10 times 20 squared divided by 2. And you wind up, this is kind of the way my brain works, so I'll go, because it's the same thing as multiplying by 1/2. So I got 10 divided by 2 is 5 times 20 squared, which is 400. 5 times 400 comes out to be 2,000 joules. All right. And let's say it got up to that maximum thing in 4 seconds. To get up to 2,000 joules, it took 4 seconds. So the power, one more time, the power would be 2,000 joules divided by 4 seconds. So I got work per time, which is a watt, and that would give me 500 watts power. All right, so that's the way all that works. Okay? All right. So I want to go ahead and look and see what I've got on tap here for the so working power. I haven't finished recording that one yet. What the hell is a gigawatt? All right, so now on the next thing here, So this will be track 8. And then on track 9 here that I'm going to put, I mean, by the time you see this, it'll be all nice and worked out. I want you just to enjoy those things of Usain Bolt. And actually, these will be 10 because I'm going to do another. No, you know what? I think I'm going to talk about that last slide right now. And so this will be just track 9. And this one will be track 10. And I'm probably going to go to this science and math while I'm talking about Usain Bolt, which I'm going to go ahead and stop now. All right. So yes, go and enjoy the Usain Bolt highlights, and then I will do a track 10 where I talk about Usain Bolt as the fastest human, and then track 11, then track 12 will be me going over your assignment. Does your head hurt yet?